Thanks for tuning in, guys. Today, on this episode of Cigar Chat, I am honored to have my friend and former Union City, New Jersey Commissioner, Rafael Fraguela, and a dear friend, besides all the titles, the fancy titles. But interestingly enough, his life of public service is no more. He's happily retired. And now he's actually doing the cigar thing part-time, right?
Yep.
But I'll let you tell...
Part-time.
Yeah, part-time. I'll let you tell the public what are you doing these days? Tell me.
Well, I'm retired, and I enjoy smoking cigars. And one day, I'm in Naples, Florida, going to a place that I always go. It's Marcus Daniel, cigar tobacconist in Naples, and being his client for many years. And he said to me, why don't you become my rep? I said, rep for what? Because I want you to sell cigars for me, so you can make some extra money besides.
Somehow it doesn't sound like he had to convince you too much on this whole thing.
Well, he did.
It sounds like...
I was apprehensive.
But it's something that you enjoy.
No, wait a minute. You said in the very beginning, I enjoy now, but in the beginning I didn't enjoy, because I am not a salesman.
But you enjoyed cigars.
I enjoy smoking cigars, but I'm not a salesman. I don't know how to sell.
I don't know. You convinced me you're a pretty good salesman.
Anyway, I'm not going to argue. He goes, no, you can do it, blah, blah, blah. Well, okay.
How long have you been doing it already?
Since, I retired 2018, so I started before that.
So
probably
6
2016. I'm thinking, I enjoy the company of cigar smokers.
The camaraderie.
Cigar smokers are usually nice people. For the most part, they smoke cigars because they want to relax.
That's right.
They want to decompress.
It's a nice, enjoyable experience.
And I said, I need that. After all these years, I want to have a little...
dealing with all the madness.
Yeah, I want to have a little relaxation.
I'm going to ask you something to see if you know the answer. I did not know the answer. Jose Blanco asked me this question. I'm going to ask you, what is the only thing that can ruin a cigar? I know it's going to be tough.
There's a few answers to that, but I'm going to give you one. Someone breaking your chops while you're smoking it.
Well, you're close. He says that the only thing that can ruin a really great cigar is an asshole.
I didn't want to use profanity.
It's okay. This is a YouTube
disrespectful channel.
All right, but that's what he said, and I thought that was good. That was good. I have to agree.
I said it with different words.
Yes, you did. Yeah, very eloquently. But he's right.
I don't know about that.
You're right. You're right. I guess in the company of somebody who is not as gracious, they can definitely ruin a great cigar.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
That was pretty funny.
Can I use your lighter, please?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, okay, so you started doing the cigar thing, part-time, just to kind of keep yourself busy, do different things. But I remember, obviously I'm a little younger, so I remember
a lot younger.
Different generation. But when I was a kid, Mr. Fraguela was our commissioner in Union City, New Jersey. And you guys here on the channel have always heard me talk about Union City and, our little Havana on the Hudson, our little Cuban town. And I want Mr. Fraguela to shed some light on that. Tell me, when you came to America, your family, my family, same part of Cuba, similar trajectory. He came from Spain, went to New Jersey. Tell me a little bit about that experience. How was it that you came to Jersey and you got into public life? If you care to share that with us.
Well, as you said, let me just say that I enjoy talking to Arnold because we somehow we connected right away. After all these years, he was young. He was a kid.
I was a kid.
I knew his dad and his friends, his family, town.
It was a special place, Union City.
Yeah, because for the most part, in Union City we had people from La Provincia de las Villas.
For those of you that don't know, Central Cuba. If you throw a dart at the island, Santa Clara is the dead center, And that whole area there is like Mr.
I was born in Placetas. He was born maybe 10 miles away from me.
Well, I was born in Secaucus.
Oh, you were born here?
Born in Jersey, man.
I thought you were...
Riverside General Hospital. But my
Remember
family was all from there. My grandfather's from Placetas. My mother's side of the family, Fomento. And my dad was born in Santa Clara, but basically lived in Fomento.
All right, so...
But that's the same place.
But so what I'm trying to say is that everybody in that community, not everybody, most people came from that part of
Yes.
Cuba.
Central Cuba, yes.
And especially Fomento, Placetas, Santa Clara, etc.
And I don't think we've ever done a video. I mean, I've talked about Jersey in my video, but I don't think I've ever done a video like this. You know, being able to chronicle the history of Union City, and what a better person to do this with than Mr. Fraguela.
Thank you.
Of course.
The immigration pattern is like most other ethnicities that come to America. You go where the people from your hometown are, because they usually help you find jobs and all.
Of course.
In Hudson County, New Jersey, that was the embroidery was a capital.
My God, that's so many embroideries. How many embroideries do you know? How many we had in Union City or Hudson County?
I have it in writing somewhere, but
What do you think? More than 100? That's definitely more than 100.
Hudson County was the capital.
It was the capital.
The embroidery capital of the world.
And the sign is still there
Yeah.
when you're crossing over. What is it? 195.
Yeah,
The sign is
right
there.
when you go to the tunnel, to the
Right.
Lincoln Tunnel.
On your way to New York and Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, everybody started working, and most Cubans coming from that area worked in the embroidery
Oh yeah.
sector.
My uncle.
Garment.
The garment. Yeah,
sector.
garment sector.
Yeah.
My uncles. I was just gonna tell you, they would come to Cuba back in the early 50s, like as early as 52, 53. My mother's side of the family, the Trujillos from Fomento. And one of my uncles, he had a little frita stand, which is like a smash burger.
The best.
And they would make it with chorizo meat and beef. And my uncle, it's a funny story. I'm just gonna share this with you guys. So hold that thought. He went to the embassy in Havana in like 1952. But back then, you know, you had to come with an affidavit. And when he went in front of the consulate, right? He said, well, what do you do here in Cuba? He said, I have a frita stand. He said, well, what the hell is that? He said, you know, a hamburger. But the problem is, guys, back then, a friend of his gave him money back then and put it in a bank account, because you had to vouch for that person when you would bring them over.
Yeah.
It's not like now. Immigration was very different. So when they saw back then thousands of dollars in my uncle's bank account, the consulate said to him, he says, Mr. Trujillo, you've got a lot of money. Why do you want to come to America? You know, if your frita stand does so much money here in Cuba. And he said, well, you know, it's the land of opportunity and this and that, and I really want to go check it
I
out.
want to make more.
Right. And as luck may have it, he went to Jersey, worked in the embroideries, like Mr. Fraguela said, and he had his own little frita stand. And, you know, my dad's friend who was here over the weekend that you spoke to him earlier, he told me that, Tio Tomas' Cuban frita stand was the first one in New Jersey, in Union City at that time. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Go ahead.
Where was I?
Yeah, you were talking about the immigration pattern, how they come over with the embroideries.
So the question was I felt like my family knew a lot of people.
How old were you when you came to Union City?
I was 14.
14 years old, wow. And you were in Spain 2 or 3 years before that?
I was there for a year and a half.
A year and a half. And that was a very typical immigration pattern for the Cubans that were going to Jersey. They would stop in Spain for a little bit, and then they'd come over to Jersey. And, you know, it was rough, I'm sure, for you, because...
I wasn't.
No? You were happy to be here.
And
you were young. You were a kid, right?
I was blessed.
Did you go to Union Hill right then and there? Or did you go to, like, grammar school before?
No, I went straight to Union
Straight to
Hill.
Union Hill. So 9th grade.
Yeah.
We had two high schools in Union City.
I want to say this. I was blessed, and I thank the good Lord every day for my relatives and family.
You guys, was your mom's side of the family there as well?
Everybody.
A lot of people.
Where?
In Union City, when you guys arrived?
Not really.
Just a few.
But I'm talking about the family in Spain that
helped you
and
guys.
I want to say thank you, Lord, for helping me and for giving me the best family in the world. I was blessed. I am blessed.
Thank God. Yeah.
And
as my family too.
I went there and they didn't know who I was. I mean, they knew who I was, but they never met me before.
And this was in Madrid?
No, this is in the northern Spain.
So you went to the north.
Yeah, I was in Madrid as well. I had to go to Madrid.
Later on.
Then I had to make, the trips.
Where in the north? Which town?
I was in a little village, maybe 5 houses.
Galicia?
No, it was in Asturias.
Asturias. Wow.
In the it's called Villa Pérez.
I have to ask you.
La Pedriña.
Did you, when you went to Asturias, did you get to try that cheese that they make there? Gamoneo?
Which one?
The gamoneo?
Yeah.
I heard that that's the most amazing cheese. It's made like between, what is it, goat cheese, and I think obviously cow.
Yeah.
And then what is it? They age it in a cavern,
Caves,
right?
yeah, and yeah.
How is it? It's amazing, right? I mean, it's
Whatever they make is great.
whatever they make is great.
I'm a big fan.
Spanish cheeses are the best, as are the chorizos. Remember the ones in Union City? El Niño.
El Miño.
Chorizos El Niño.
So anyway,
So you were there for a year.
It was great. It's a great experience and very thankful.
Absolutely.
This summer I had the opportunity to go visit them again.
How many times have you said you've been there? Several times to Spain.
I wish I could have more.
Maybe 10.
In the 90s, yeah, about 10, 12 times.
I gotta tell you, I mean, I'm sure you feel the same way. Like for us, to go to Spain is for us
To go home.
To go home, yes. Like I went to Spain and I just felt at home right away, and
Yeah.
and I mean the people they just embrace us. It's the same
absolutely.
culture. I mean, but anyway, continue, please.
Yeah, so I went to visit this year because I have my only one aunt left.
They're still there.
She's still alive.
Wow.
She's 93 years old.
Oh my God.
And I stopped by just to say hello. She recognized me. She's in good health.
Did she say you look the same?
No,
Okay, good, because that would have been a lot of.
I gained a lot of weight.
Don't worry, I can relate. But that would have been a lot of BS if she would have said that you look the same, right?
No, that don't.
Because you saw her when you were 14 years old.
No.
Oh, you saw her.
No, I every time I travel to Spain, I make my business to go to the house
Asturias.
and share with them and kiss them and hug them and thank them
That's
for
a
what they
beautiful part
did.
of Spain, man.
That's what I do.
Oh, and let's go ahead and share this for a minute. It just came to my mind. And guys on this that watch my people do actually watch these videos, by the way. I can't believe that they do, but they do. So thank you. I know you're amazed. He's amazed. People watching.
Well, if they watch and my cousins are watching, I have three, four, five amazing cousins.
We're gonna definitely put this up soon.
And you see that there?
The boar?
They
wild
go
boar?
they go hunting.
Oh yeah. I'll have to put a video
And
of
they
it.
cook and they can cook.
Oh man, that's the best kind of pork. I mean,
I thought of it when I saw
you know
it.
what's funny
I
about
want to
it?
thank Oscar.
Did he take you hunting already?
They didn't want me. They didn't want to take me.
Wow.
They say I can't do it.
And bow and arrow or what?
It's a long process. No, they use guns.
They use actual rifles.
I'll show you a picture later.
Wow. Well, it's funny now. I'm gonna get off the subject here, but since you mentioned the wild boar,
The meat is the best.
it's the best.
better
And
than
it's
pork.
dark meat. But did you know that the wild boars here in Florida are direct descendants of the Spanish ones?
Of course.
Yeah. Most people might not know that, but the Spaniards
Like
brought
the
boars.
cows.
Yes, and the horses.
And the horses.
They brought the pigs over, and then years later, they shipwrecked and stuff. So the boars are native now, but they were brought over by the Spanish.
The meat is fine. Why are we talking about meat? Should be talking about cigars.
I know, because we're hungry. But no, I was gonna say before this, he's talking about Asturias in Spain. Now, there's a famous Spaniards drink, the sidra, which is what would you say, like a sparkling cider, and it's got el gaitero. Most people might not know this, but the Asturians, as are the Galicians, are direct descendants of the Gaelic, of the Celts, and that's why if you go to Scotland, they play the bagpipes, and they play the bagpipes in Asturias and in Galicia as well. So, I know it's a lot of useless information, but people always say, hey, I learned something new on your channel.
So then I went to Union City. I left, and it was an experience. I had to
Sure,
learn a
of
new
course it was.
language.
And you went to
But
school? You went to school?
the fact that there was a large Cuban community, including your family
Of course, and yours,
and friends that we have in common that we know who they
We
are.
talk about this for days. It's unbelievable.
It was a good support system.
Well, let's go back in history for a minute so that the viewers know what we're talking about here. So, first Cubans, we talked about this last few days, started coming to Union City late 40s. Manolito Rodriguez was probably the first one that we could think of. And who was the other gentleman that we... Gilberto también, right? Perez. No?
I mean, I heard the names. I was.
You were a kid. Yeah. You just heard the stories, but
I heard the stories,
Still.
but I mean, my uncles and they used to tell me how grateful they were to
to America.
all Cubans. Well, of course, America. I mean, thank God for. The
God
United
bless
States.
America. There's no other country like it. We still say it.
The
But
difference,
the
the
funny
difference
thing-
is that we came the legal way.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
And
right.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk about.
Nah,
Let's
we
talk about
won't
cigars.
get into politics, but
Let's talk about cigars.
I'm 100% with you on that. What I was going to say is, the Cubans came to Jersey, like you said, in search of better opportunity, work, and otherwise. Late 40s, very small community. I mean, just a handful of Cubans, really. And then by the mid 50s, a lot of the folks, like you said, from central Cuba started migrating over because of work. And then the ones that would go straight to New York City, they found out that there were Cubans living in Jersey, and because I mean, it's like right there, Hudson River. Weehawken is here, Manhattan is here, Midtown. They came over, and then Union City started thriving as a small Cuban community. But in essence, what I've heard, and I'm sure you heard this many times, there was a lack of a population when the Cubans started arriving, because a lot of people had left, Hudson County for the war in the 40s. And when they came back, a lot of those people did not return back to Hudson County. A lot of them went to Bergen, the suburbs. They moved away. So in essence, when the Cubans started arriving to Union City, there was a lot of affordable housing. There was a lot of work available to them.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
And the Cubans, they just jumped on it. They got this little town, and they just transformed it. I mean, by the time the 80s came, when you guys were in politics and stuff, I can honestly say Union City was, and it's historical, the second most Cuban city in America, behind Miami. So please,
That's what they
shed
say.
some light on that subject.
No, you said it all. It was well said. Thank
I
you.
want you to add anything. I mean, you lived it though. You were there.
There's
Man.
nothing to add. You're a historian.
You
I
know,
come
I
here
love
and
that.
I learn a lot of history.
No, you don't learn. I learn. I'm the one that's learning. But I think, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just the person that really appreciates the history. I appreciate the fact that my parents were a part of this history. You were a part of this history. And I always say we got to keep this going. We got to keep talking about it. Carlito Fuente, there's his dad back here. He always says to me that I'm the guy that's going to keep this legacy going. And I'm honored that he feels
And
that
I
way.
I with that. I'm impressed with your collection.
Thank you.
Can I borrow a lighter again?
Of course, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm a steward of that history. I want to keep this going. I want to document it. Like right now, I said to Ralph, I said, let's do a video. He said, you sure? I go, yeah, let's do a video. Because these are things that we have to document it. And if not for us, for future generations.
Yeah,
because
that's-
someday somebody's going to want to know this.
Yeah. And I appreciate what you're doing. I have to echo
Thank you.
Mr. Fuentes' words, because there's a lot of people that are misinformed
There's a lot of misinformation.
about the truth,
Especially now with
how-
the internet and stuff, yeah.
about the cigar industry, how it developed, especially here in Tampa.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's coming to Tampa is like it's like an injection that I get for my soul.
You love it. You love it.
I do.
And it's funny because he'd come to Tampa, I don't know, a dozen times. And I said, you know what?
More than that.
Well, I'm sure. But I said, well, why the hell haven't I brought him over here?
Well, you've been
So-
trying, but
So I sent you a
don't-
message like a month ago, right?
I don't come this way because
Right, I
I
know.
usually stay
You go to Miami
in other
too.
parts, and I used to. I don't go too much. I mean, I go, but it's not that much. I go other places. But what's good is that I'm here today, and I thank you.
No, I thank you.
I
It's
love
an
your
honor to have you here.
store. It's an honor for me to be in your store.
No,
I think
the honor's mine.
this
you
is
very much.
a museum. It's beyond a cigar store. This is a museum of Cuban history.
I said we're fixing all the world's problems here too.
This is a museum of cigars,
Thank you.
of tobacco.
My place is very humble, very
And-
small,
and-
but we really love what we do.
And Mr. Serafin carries everything here, but it's got documentation.
Thank you.
And the documentation that he has is amazing.
Thank you very much.
The history of tobacco, I observed pictures of his uncles and his grandfather, etc. He understands cigars. I've been around the cigar world. I smoke cigars. I love cigars. But this gentleman right here has the cigar industry running through his veins.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It comes from the heart. And when he talks about cigars, I can feel the passion and the knowledge of the cigar industry. It's not just having the passion, because I'm passionate, but he's got the knowledge.
Thank you very much.
He's got a library of videos and books. Can I talk about the encyclopedia?
Sure, please. Absolutely.
I was impressed. He showed me an encyclopedia where he found all the municipalities and what they did back in the days. Talked about the tobacco industry, the sugar industry, the production, the centrales azucareros, how do you say that in English?
Yeah, the sugar mills.
The sugar mills.
And my grandfather, like we were talking earlier, he worked all his life in the sugar mill in Alabama, Central Cuba. And he had his little cigar factory. That's what he did.
And then today he showed me a video of the Canary Islands, which I knew, by the way, because I've been there many times, and the family comes from there.
We share the same background.
Yeah.
Canary Islands are on one side
Yeah.
and Basque on the other. So that's pretty amazing.
So it's amazing how the Canary Islands produce so many hardworking individuals in the cigar industry. He shares that race, that ethnicity.
Thank you.
And that's why I said it runs through his veins, because he understands. A lot of people talk and they say because they read it or they heard it, but he understands because his family, the pictures are right there. I'm looking at them. I was impressed. He even has the identification card. When you work in the tobacco industry in Cuba, you had to be part of a union, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to translate the words.
Yeah, yeah.
And the union, they gave him an ID card, and they are certified cigar makers. They're not just anybody that rolls, because anybody can roll. And I'm not saying that it could be good or bad, but they're the real. He is the real deal.
Thank you, sir.
He is the real deal.
As you are.
I'm not.
I'm gonna have to now. I'm gonna have to put a picture of the card so you guys.
I come here. For wisdom. That's why I came here. I came here for wisdom.
You come here for many reasons.
And then,
but the honor is mine. I
wanna say that his cigar is amazing.
Thank you.
His cigars, not just one.
I've had him going crazy trying different ones.
Can you pass me the cigars? Or?
Oh, you know what? Now let me
yeah.
show them this one first, though. You're talking about history. This brand right here, El Príncipe de Gales, Mr. Ebor's original brand, had been out of production for over 100 years. We brought it back to life, and I have the blessing of the Ebor family to do this. Rafael Ebor did this. He let me have it. And I'm honored to bring back this, not only this piece of Tampa history, this piece of Cuban history, because Mr. Ebor was a proponent and a big supporter of the Cuban revolutionary movement of the 1800s. Jose Marti came to Tampa 22 times, and Mr. Ebor was his dear friend, and he helped support, the cause of Cuban freedom at that time. So for me to have this brand again is an honor.
I like, so far, he gave me a lot of cigars, and I can smoke them all.
I think he's a mild smoker, though. He says no. It's all right. It's all right.
You could ask more, and you can test me if you want.
But let me ask you this: there's nothing wrong with enjoying a mild cigar. I'm smoking a mild.
I enjoy a good cigar.
Bottom line, right?
It's gotta have. Can I describe your cigar?
Please.
And why do I enjoy your cigar?
Of course.
I tell you why. They're very well done. The construction is impeccable. I find no tunnels. I find no issues with the cigar as far as the construction. No tunnels. no hiccups in the cigar. They're good to smoke. I enjoy good tobacco, whether it's Connecticut, Nicaraguan, Dominican, San Andres Valley, Mexico.
All great tobaccos. All.
As long as it's good tobacco, well aged, which is important, the aging, and he knows that.
It's all about the
And
aging.
and the construction and the entire process. Now, flavors, it's up to the person. Whatever
Yeah.
you like.
Whatever you like, right? The palate.
But so far, I've smoked. He gave me a lot more than this. I got more there, and I'll try them all. And I'm happy to try them because I enjoy. Now he feels that I like the mild cigar. I'm not going to argue.
There's nothing wrong with
But
that.
one day I'm going to bring some strong cigars. So I'm going to try them.
Now he wants me to smoke one that's gonna kick my ass, and I'm okay with it too. But
I
do it
don't
on
wa-
a full stop.
I don't want to do that. I wanna just enjoy.
Of course.
Because the enjoyment is
You know what?
not
You
on
hit
the
it on the head.
what.
People come in here sometimes, and I'm sure you've heard this before because he visits a lot of shops. They'll say, "Well, I want a cigar that's gonna kick me in the ass in full body." I go, "No." I go, "You smoke cigars for enjoyment. Why would you want a cigar that kicks you in?" Now, I can understand some people would want something a little bit more medium to full body. There's a time and a place for everything. Like I like to smoke a mild one in the morning. Right now, I wanted a mild one. This is my second one of the day. Sometimes I'll work with a milder one in the morning and kind of gravitate a little bit more medium to full later in the day. But again, like you said,
The
it's
cigar is
your
very
choice.
personal.
Yes.
You have to like it. If you don't like the cigar, then we're wasting time here. You enjoy whatever you enjoy,
I'm hitting the sweet spot on this one.
and
How's that one?
It's very good.
That's our camel
I
full
like
wrapper.
it. So, in my conclusion is that what I've tried so far from your factory here,
You've enjoyed.
everything is perfect.
Thank you, sir.
No, I mean, they're very well made. They're premium cigars. They're being made with love.
That's the most important.
But again, I want to emphasize one thing. This man right here, and I say this because people that know me know that I would tell you how I feel, whether you like it or not. I'm going to say it. And please. But when I say that this man right here is the real deal, not only because he makes great cigars,
Thank you.
but because I'm going to repeat this. I've told you 3 times, and I said this to a good friend. It runs through his veins.
I really enjoy what I do.
It's not a transfusion. It's not an IV. No, it's inside of him. He can't help it. He's got it.
I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it, and you know, people tell me that all the time, so I'm honored. Thank you for saying that.
And I
so
see
much.
a lot. I see a lot of cigar makers, and I love them all. They're great. But I know who's the real deal, and you're one of them.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Like my wife's family in the Dominican Republic,
They do this for a living. Yeah.
they've been doing it for 40 years, and
You got to be passionate about this.
and they are. I mean, you could see it's in the DNA. It runs through the veins. And if it doesn't run through the veins, you can learn it. You can be great at it, but
But you can't do it.
you might be able to.
Well, you can
It
fake
comes-
it, right? You can
no,
fake
no, I'm not saying that. People learn. I mean, I've seen a lot of people
No, they do,
learning,
yeah.
and they become great.
And you know what Carlito
But in
says
your
to me?
case, let me say this. In
Yes.
your case, and I'm going to say it again, you have the edge because it runs through your veins.
It does.
Now, you have perfected the art because you've been around your father for many years.
I'm just a student of this
and,
trade.
and your uncles
Oh my
and
God,
your
yeah.
grandfather.
I've been so lucky
know?
to be surrounded by so many great people.
Yep.
And you know,
And you've learned.
And I've learned. I've tried to learn as much as I can.
Some people get
like a
surrounded
sponge.
and don't learn.
That's true. I've tried to be like a sponge and just take everything I can. And you know, just lately, I'm so honored that I've been around Jose Blanco, Carlito Fuente, Cynthia Fuente. You know, to just have these masters, Benjamin Menendez, which we just saw the video. He was blown away by Benji.
Yeah.
You know, 87 years old. The knowledge that
It's
that man
amazing.
had.
Amazing.
And you know, I just say that I'm a steward of these men and these women and the history. And I just every day I learn something new. I really do. And I'm so honored, you know.
Yeah.
I'm so honored.
I'm honored as well. Thank you so much.
But
for
I'm more honored to have you here.
Well,
And he thinks he's going to get off the hook this easy with the interview, but
The
we might have some
feeling-
more questions for
The
him.
feeling is mutual.
But tell me something. Looking back, the man has.
Now you
such-
ask me questions. That's it.
Thank you for all the compliments, man.
I need to deposit my ashes.
Oh, sure. Let me get you an extra. We have plenty
Thank
of
you very
extra.
much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you've led a storied life. I mean, career, you came here to America, immigrant story like my parents, a success story, in my opinion. Came here as a young kid. You went to school. What did you study when you went to school?
Well, I went to Union Hill High School in Union City, and then I went to Montclair State College and
What'd you major in there?
social studies
Political science?
and political science and all that. Yeah.
So did you always figure early on that you were going to be living a life of public service, or did that just happen by accident?
No.
How did that happen? Tell us about that.
Well, I was in education. I was a teacher.
That's
Then-
right. You did that for many years too.
Then I became a school principal,
Okay? Excuse me for a minute. What subject did you teach?
social studies.
That's why we love this. I mean, history. So that's my thing. So anyway, so you did that.
So
and-
then I became an administrator. I did that for many years.
Was that Passaic County?
Yeah, Passaic High School. Passaic school system. I was in a few schools.
Were
there.
you close to the falls over there, Patterson Falls? Not
Yeah,
far.
yes. I mean, not far.
That's got to be one of the prettiest places in New Jersey for those of you guys that have never seen
But
it.
that's Patterson.
That's
I was in Passaic.
But it's Passaic County, no?
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
So, yeah, I was there, and then
How many years did you do that?
About 38 years.
Wow. You just retired a few years back, though.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. And then, so how did you end up in the political side of things? I mean,
Well,
that's got to be an interesting story. If you care to share it.
I'll share whatever I can. Just, I was not. Look, I'm not a salesman. I'm not a politician. Because I'll tell
You don't like those titles. I can tell you don't like
No,
them. Yeah.
I'm Rafael Fraguela.
You are you
That's
are your
who
own
I am.
individual, yes, of course.
I am. I don't want titles around me. They don't mean anything.
They
to
don't
me.
mean anything.
To me, having a good friend and a good conversation.
That's worth its weight in gold.
His titles are titles.
They come and go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not important. I'd rather have a good friend than a good title.
for sure.
So at the time, there was some turbulence in the political
Arena.
landscape of that region. And some of the issues had to do with the school system in Union City.
Did you come to the Board of Education first and then? Okay, I didn't know that.
And then I was called in to serve
As
as
commissioner.
a board member.
As a board member first.
And then I became president of the board.
Was that mid 80s, I think?
It was 88. No, it was 88.
So late 80s.
1988.
Yeah, late 80s.
Then I had another meeting where I was asked to fill a seat of someone that was going to become a United States congressman. So there was a spot in the commission type, and they asked me to fill the seat, and I did. So I moved from the board.
You were also a legislator in New Jersey.
I'm getting there.
Okay. I'm always a step ahead again. 33rd District, right?
Yep.
I remember these things. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, good memory.
Thank you.
So I served as a commissioner. And the opportunity came for me to become a legislator, 33rd District. And I did.
Northern New Jersey, for those of you that don't know.
That's Hudson County,
Hudson County.
primarily.
Smallest county in Jersey, right? We are the smallest county.
Yeah, we are.
I
We have
believe
a
so.
lot of size. but
Yeah,
not-
size-wise.
not in
Not populated.
population.
Most densely
densely,
populated
yeah.
in America.
Union City, that is.
Yeah, Union City, 1 square mile. That's our little hometown.
1.2.
1.2 square miles. Wow. But let's just say this: back then, during that time. Now, let's paint a picture for the people that are watching. Union City already in that time. He said 1987, 88, late 80s, early 90s. It was a very Cuban town. We were just talking about this before we decided to do this little interview. The Cubans had a lot of influence at the time, real estate, political. you know, we had a lot of great stories. A lot of power players came out of Union City, New Jersey, and the Hudson County area, and I'm very proud about that. You know, I really am. We were always very proud of Senator Menendez and his contributions. You know, having a Cuban at that level was an honor for the Cuban American community. You know, he was a senator, as you know, recently, U.S. House of Representatives, state before that. So you know, we were already kind of climbing the political you know, ladder in New Jersey during that time. The Cuban American community was one of the fastest, you know, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but in escalation wise, you know, in immigration to the United States. They came here, and after one, maybe two generations, we had political power. And that was important to like my dad's generation to be able to say, hey, we've got people in Washington that represent us here. And you know, we got to always be proud about that.
So then,
is there anything you want to add about that?
I agree with what you said.
Okay.
Let's move on to cigars. That's what I'm here for.
He just wants to talk about cigars. But this man has such a storied career and interesting history that it's important to talk about these things. And of course,
thank you.
Let's also say that in Jersey, going back to cigars, that tiny little town of Union City, our town, we had probably about maybe 4, maybe 5 cigar factories. So when you got Cubans, what do you have?
Cigars.
Cigars. Good bakeries, because we had what? El Fénix.
And espresso.
And espresso. La Guardia, El Fénix Cuba Bakery.
Yeah.
Now there's a few other ones, but we had great Cuban bakeries, great Cuban restaurants. Oh, that's always a topic of conversation. Let's throw Ralph under the bus here. Best Cuban sandwich. Is it really La Pola? Okay, good. I have a man that agrees with me, and I told Carlito Fuente that the other day, and he looked at I can't remember if it was Jose or something. He said, "Really, West New York?" I said, "I'm telling you, no salami either." Because you know Tampa, they put salami in the Cuban sandwich. That's another. So I actually did a video on that one, but our Cuban sandwiches in Jersey were pretty damn good. And we had El Artesano, we had La Pola, which Belarmino is still there, making some of the best Cuban sandwiches in the United States. What is he, like 90 years old? Is unbelievable. So our Cuban food and the little cigar factories. And what else can I tell you? I mean, it was just a great little place to grow up.
It was.
It was a great.
It was great.
I mean, I make it sound like it's such a perfect place. Nothing is perfect ever.
Well, we were happy.
But I would never trade my upbringing, my childhood, for anyone else.
I mean, for an immigrant person like me, you were born here. I wasn't.
First generation, though, yeah.
And I came from a different place to where I was.
You felt very comfortable.
I felt very
you
comfortable.
You felt at home, man.
And I gotta say this. When I went to school, I was a little apprehensive because I said, what am I going to do here? But the teachers,
were they nice?
Yeah.
And nice. And how ironic that you're saying this, but then years later you become an educator, and now you pass along your knowledge.
Well,
and your experience.
Because one of my teachers.
That's amazing. That's powerful, man.
I had about 4 teachers that really care about me.
And they made a difference.
Making it.
Wow.
One of them told me to do this. But there was one.
They believed in you.
There was one that didn't believe in me, but I came back to prove him wrong.
And that's incredible too.
Because you don't dare me.
They underestimated you.
They underestimated me. That's okay.
There's always people like that.
But I see that's not going to stop me. Right now I'm old and then I'm mellow. I just don't.
You're just a happy retired guy.
I just want to smoke. Okay, so there was a teacher that he was so influential in me becoming a teacher because I didn't want to be a teacher either.
It wasn't your thing?
No.
What was your like career like? What did you want to do?
And I got in trouble.
What was your dream? Yeah.
I'll tell you in a minute. And I got in trouble for this.
Okay.
I was in school. The teacher asked, "What is it that you want? Career education, like." I said, "I want to be a pilot."
Wow. That's pretty cool.
And they said, "You're fooling around." I said, I'm not fooling around. Why? But can I be a pilot?
Of course.
Did you ask me to do what you want? I want to be a pilot.
Sky's the limit.
So right away, she took that as I was being facetious or I was trying to start trouble. I said, I want to be a teacher. I mean, whatever, a pilot. Anyway, that
She
was.
thought you wanted to be controversial or something.
Yeah, she thought I was fooling around, trying to be funny in class. You know how it was.
Of course.
But that was
That was high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted to do. I love to fly,
That's amazing.
and I don't know how to fly.
You know who's a pilot, by the way? Dr. Coffee.
Oh yeah.
You talk about an interesting guy.
It's funny because I had a student in Passaic, Cuban kid. He told me I'm a pilot. He was like 15 years. I looked at him and said, "Oh, good. Yeah, I'm Tarzan's grandson." So,
Sure.
you know.
Was he really?
Yeah.
What, like crop duster planes? Or?
In Cuba, he learned how to fly because his father was a pilot too.
Amazing.
Anyway, to
That's
make the
amazing.
long story short, he is a pilot. He flies commercial flights from Miami to what's the lake, Okeechobee,
Like Okeechobee.
every day, back and forth.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's
So
incredible.
when he said he wanted to be a pilot or he was a pilot, I did not make fun of him.
Because you remembered the story.
Because I know what, and I said, okay, that's what. No, but I am a pilot. I said, okay, fine. I'm not going to argue.
Have you? So he's down here in Florida. You stay in touch with him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
He's a nice. They were great.
So let me ask you this: everything you've done. I mean, you've done everything from like you said, educator, politics. Now part-time hobby, cigars or whatever. What have you enjoyed the most? I mean, that's a tough question. I know it's a loaded question. What do you think has been?
It's a very simple answer.
Okay.
I enjoyed everything that's beautiful.
Every moment of your life
My life has
been good.
I can't complain. I had my peaks and valleys like everybody,
Of course.
but I don't want to dwell on the valleys. I want to dwell on the peaks. I want to dwell on the positive, the good stuff. And again, I have to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for
Amen.
helping me, because I'm far from being good. I had, like everybody, my days that I'm not proud of, but
I think it turned out pretty good though.
yeah, with the help of my faith and the prayers and the people around me, like.
And everybody always says, you know what, Commissioner Fraguela is a great guy. And I have to say, not because you're here today, I wholeheartedly agree about that. So,
Because I was grateful, I'm still grateful, not only to my family and my relatives, but to the Cuban and other communities in Union City that embraced me. And I said, I gotta do good, because they trust me. I can't betray their trust. And
I wish you would have been mayor of Union City. I think you would have been a hell of a mayor.
well, that's one of the problems.
That would have been great.
That some people didn't want me to be mayor.
Well, because we can't say one thing here, and he hit it kind of on the head earlier.
Wow.
The political arena in northern New Jersey is, let's just say, it's very
Blood
competitive.
sport.
Yes, it's.
It's
I mean,
blood sport.
you're a historian. I'm a historian. Going back in Jersey history, Frank Hague, Jersey City mayor, he was part of the whole political machine of the 1930s, going back many years.
Yeah.
So northern New Jersey has always had a strong reputation for being machine politics.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're going to leave it at that, but he has stories on
look,
that. It's hardcore.
It is what it is.
It's hardcore.
But I was able. The good thing is that I was
Dog
able,
eats dog. Let's say that.
I was able to learn things
Oh my God, I'm sure.
from within. So when I sit and I watch, I see things from every different angle, because I've been blessed to see the problem from different angles. It's like I was telling someone the other day, we were having a discussion, and I drew a number 6, and the person was sitting across from me, and I said, what number do you see? I see number 9.
Wow.
Well, I see number 6. We both see a number. You see a 9, I see a 6. We're both right, but we both see different.
Different angles.
So you have to see things from the different angles. I get that. So when I talk to people, especially the cigar business, and they tell me they don't like this cigar because of that or whatever, I understand. I understand there are many different palates out there, and people like different cigars, and it's okay.
You know what's the?
That's why
Right.
you have the right idea.
I don't know about that.
You let me tell you why. Let me show you again if you want. Arnold makes so many different blends, so many different cigars that I believe it's like going through a Chinese menu.
Oh man.
You gotta like one.
Wow, I had
because
Chinese food yesterday. I love it.
they're good. So he understands what cigar people understand, that everybody does not like the same cigar.
Right. You got to give
And
them
it's
choices.
it's
yeah.
okay.
Exactly.
Everybody's different. Some people like coffee with sugar.
Yeah.
Some people
Remember
like
earlier
it with no
today?
sugar.
Right.
Me, I take my espresso without any sugar.
Hardcore, man.
I enjoy.
Was that because of all the Italians in Union City
No.
with a slice of lemon? Like what? The little
No,
limoncello.
no. I learned
Or the sambuca.
I learned that from my father,
I know.
my uncle, and my grandfather.
I won't lie. I like a little bit of sugar in my espresso, but that's
Okay, I wouldn't hold that against you.
And as they say in Spanish, después de un buen café,
Un buen
un
tabaco.
buen tabaco. After a good coffee, a good cigar.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you'd like to add here to the video?
No, I want to thank you, and I really had a great time.
I've
you.
had a phenomenal time. And
I'm
you know,
honored to to be next to you.
I'm honored to call you a friend.
Yeah, me too, because you're the real deal.
Thank you, sir.
I really appreciate your friendship and what you do for the industry.
We'll do
and
more of
most
these.
important, let me say this. I'm sorry.
No.
You are bringing the history of Tampa, which is the true capital of cigar capital, in my
Cigar
opinion.
City. Yes, sir.
And you're digging a lot of information that is so historical and so important that I invite you to continue watching his podcast. He is a wealth of information.
Thank you.
Not a wealth.
But you mean
people
people actually watch this channel?
You see,
Really?
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
not a wealth, but a well of information.
Thank you.
Un pozo de información.
Muchas gracias.
What he has is the amount of information that he has, like I said before, is amazing. Amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I just want to say that, I was just going to do a short little video with this man. I don't think that's possible. We've ran over 45 minutes, but the content here, I haven't seen it obviously, but I'm sure, I'm so confident that this is an amazing video. Probably one of the best interviews I've ever done. So I'm so honored that we did this. I'm so happy we did it. This is going to be a testimony. It's going to stay here forever. And you're welcome to come anytime and do this again.
Oh, you'll be seeing me again. Next time I come to Florida, I'll stop by.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Thank you.
My
And thank you
pleasure.
guys for watching our videos. Have a great day.